Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Quest, and welcome to the Scry Guys. I know everyone's having fun with Wild Old Drain, but I am ecstatic by this set. Everything just very cool and flavorful. Probably one of the best sets in a couple of years. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm having a blast with drafting and deck building for EDH, and somewhat of it is standard too. Standard seems kind of fun, even though that's sheltered around. But I want to make a deck here under $100. It's gonna be a better deck tech, and guess who it is? Eriette of the Charm Apple, one of the three witches in the storyline here. Ooh, let me click on this. There we go. And we got Eriette of the Charm Apple herself. She is a black and a white. And she's a legendary creature, which while I'm building her, human warlock, and each creature that's enchanted by aura you control can attack you or planeswalker you control. That is a very powerful ability. We could even like put some random auras on a creature with her out, and then we're protected, and it helps kill a different opponent that we don't want on the battlefield. And then our second ability, the most powerful one that I'm like kind of building around, is at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X. Where X is the number of auras you control, which is just a very powerful ability. I have played her like 3 different times, and I have drained people for 10. It is a very powerful commander, even for budget, which I'm very surprised. So let's go on to the aura itself. So we got Demonic Embrace, which is give +3/+1, and give Flying and Demons, and you could recur it too, which is really good. Light of Promise is whenever you gain life, put that many +1 counters on this creature, which just buffs our creature to make them big, make them strong enough. And then Ethereal Armor, you can't have a aura deck without Ethereal Armor. Just a really powerful card for each enchantment you control, and has first strike. It does get +1/+1 for each one that you control there. Then Mantle of the Ancients. This one I haven't played before yet or heard of till I built the deck, and it's a very powerful equipment aura. So when Ancient entered the battlefield, return any number of target auras or equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to a enchanted creature. Enchanted creature get +1/+1 for each aura and equipment you attach. Basically like a Ethereal Armor, just that it is for auras only, it's not enchantments, but it's just a very powerful card for late game stuff and all that. So we got On Sarah's Wings. I mean, it's budget, but it definitely gives a creature flying, vigilance, and lifelink and +1/+1, and it is legendary. I don't think there anything in deck that really helps with legendary creatures, but eventually I'll make this into a high budget deck in the future. But for right now, I want to keep a budget, play with some casuals. So yes, and then we got 5 Resties, which just gives infect to enchanted creature. Very powerful. Just a very dumb card. And then we've got Rune of Mortality, which enchant a creature or enchant permanent. I did not know that. Enchant permanent. That's really interesting. I didn't notice that at all. I thought it had always been a enchant creature, but it is a enchant permanent. So when Rune of Mortality on battlefield draws a card to get you a card advance to there, and then enchant creature or enchant permanent is a creature. It does touch. And then belonging to enchant permanent is an equipment it has. Equipped creature has that touch. So you can equip it to equipment, enchantment, or a creature itself. With pretty nice. And we got Sages of Rivia. Enchanted creature when Sages of Riveria, I think that's how you pronounce it. Enter the battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that attached to a creature, and then just does the same thing. Gives +1/+1 for each aura you control. That's a very powerful card when you have reduction cost to it. It just really good, gives you a lot of card advantage in the late game or even early game, depending on what you have going on the board. And then we got Songbird Blessing, which I love this card. It just came out with the commander deck precons for the Celestia one. And whenever a enchanted creature attacks, reveal cards from the top of your library till you reveal a aura card. You may put that card onto the battlefield. If you don't, put it into your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So you could equip that aura enchantment immediately when it hit the battlefield to something attacking, like all that glitters, their armor, mantle, any of the enchantments or aura that you see, even the removal ones too. So, and then we got Vampiric Link, which just gives lifelink, just 1 mana, pretty good in situation. We're basically just life gain, staying alive, staying around till the end game, and then we could drain our last opponent or 2 opponents or even 3 opponents down to the last drop. All right, let's go on to the next page. We got Spectral Ward. Spectral Ward. There we go. And then enchanted creature get +2/+2 and have protection from all colors. The effect doesn't remove aura. That's important because there are a couple cards in here that protect our creatures. So yeah, that's a really good card for this. Second, now we got Experimental. Equip enchanted creature get +1/+1 and have protection from creatures. Really good. Same thing in third armor, and except for the protection from creature part. And then we have Unquestioned Authority. When Unquestioned Authority enter battlefield, draw a card, and then enchanted creature have protection from creatures. Very good. Gets around creature, just getting that extra point damage. And then we got Angelic Destiny. Enchanted creature get +4/4 and have flying and first strike, and it is angel to dissolve types. And when the enchanted creature dies, return Angelic Destiny to its owner's hand. So recursion and give your creature +4/4 flying in and first strike, which is really good. Then all that glitters, one of the most powerful auras in this deck too. Enchanted creature get +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. Super powerful. But we need protection for our commander and removal. So I think next is our removal package. Or specifically, I'm pretty sure after this one gonna be our instant sorceries. But we got Darksteel Mutation, which turns our opponent creature into 0/1 indestructible and loses all types. Very powerful, and it triggers all these auras triggers our commander too, so it's amazing. And then we got Dead Man Chest. So when we equip Dead Man Chest, they can't even attack us if we have a commander out. But when enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast those spells, which is very powerful against our opponents. Then we have Ghoulish Impetus. Enchanted creature get +1/+1 and had death touch, and it's goaded, so it can't even attack us at all, even with our commander. And then when the enchanted creature dies, turn Ghoulish Impetus to the battlefield and at the beginning of the next end step. So it just recurs, and you don't even have to cast it. It just goes onto the battlefield, equip it to another creature. You get rid of that threat next, and you just remove all the threats on the battlefield, which is amazing. And then we got Ossification. Champ basic land you control, and then it just enter ETBs. Exile target creature or planeswalker opponent controls until Ossification leaves. So when is anyone going to have removal for enchantments? Rarely, so this will just be gone. That creature or planeswalker will be gone for rest game. That Pariah. Enchanted creature, all damage that will be dealt to you, it dealt to enchanted creature instead. So basically just a fog or blanket over yourself. But basically with our commander out, they can't attack us, they have to attack our opponent, which is nice. And we got Planar Disruption with a artifact creature or planeswalker. Enchant permanent can't attack, can't block, and its activated abilities can't be activated, which is very powerful. Soul Tithe. This I just found out when I was building the deck. I need like something that could help us out, get rid of some threats, so this card is pretty sweet. So at the beginning, so enchant non-land permanent, which is very important. At the beginning of the upkeep of a enchanted permanent controller, that player sacrifices it unless he or she plays X, where X is a cover mana cost. It's a very powerful card when you enchant something big as a what did I get rid of last night? Because I got rid of one of the enchantment from Old Eldraine. It's not Circle Protection, it's a different circle. It's a 6 mana enchantment that gives Knights +1/+1. I can't think of the top of my head right now. But got rid of that on his upkeep immediately because he did not want to pay 6 just to keep it. And then got Fear of Safety, which has saved me multiple games already. It just protects, like, even on top of with my commander, you definitely want some safety there. So just go Ghost Prison, but bigger for each enchantment you control, which is very good. And we do have creatures that are enchantments ourselves, so yes, And then we get to the instant sorcery. So we got D-Spark, which exile target permanent with a mana value 4 or greater. Path to exile, everyone knows it. It's a commander staple. Then we've got Sword Blast here, commander staple as always. Exile target creature control gains life equal to his power. And then you got Wind of Wraith. Destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They can't be regenerated. So basically, a big board wipe, Wrath of God, basically. But it keeps our enchanted creatures safe. It destroys everything else, and we're still in the game. And then our protection. So we got Kaya's Ghost Form. When enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control, which is really good. And that exile part helps. And then we got Timely Ward. You may cast Timely Ward as though it had flash if it targets a commander. Enchanted creature. A enchanted creature had indestructible, which is pretty good. And then Not Dead After All, one of my favorite cards of the set. Till the end of turn, target creature you control gain when this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Then create a Wicked Roll token attached to it. And we are playing some Wicked, Roll tokens in this deck. There's another card that produces them, but it's just a free aura, attach our creature, helps our commander out, ping our opponents more and more, and gains us more life. And then we have Gift for Mortality. When standard creature died, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Return Gift of Mortality to the battlefield attached to that creature at the beginning of the next end step, which is just amazing recursion there. If our opponent somehow gets rid of our big 1/1 with a bunch of auras on it. So next up is our card draw. We got Call the Ring. This card is just broken. I love it. It's an amazing card. And it could put the ring on one of our enchanted creature to get more damage in, get more card advantage, and make so that like if someone blocks, they just have to sack it. Pretty good. And then he's gonna pay 2 life, which I don't think we care about life that much since we're gaining a bunch in the end game or mid game. And then we have Court of Ardenvale. This one I'm still testing out, but it seemed pretty good. When Court of Ardenvale enter battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. If you are the monarch, return that permanent card to the battlefield instead, which is amazing. And then Lord Skitter's Blessing. When Lord Skitter's Blessing you enter battlefield, create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. And then at the beginning of your draw step, if you control a enchanted creature, you lose 1 life and you draw a additional card, which is Phyrexian Arena, but 1 less. And we are making a Wicked Roll token with that, which is good. And then we have Underworld Connection, which is Aura, enchantment Aura for our land. And there's a pay 1 life draw card, which helps there. And then Tenacious Truce. This one I was skeptical on, but I'm still trying it out. So at the beginning of a tandem opponent end step, you and that player each draw a card. And when you attack tandem opponent or a planeswalker they control, or when they attack you or a planeswalker you control, sacrifice Tenacious Truce. So basically you want to pick something that will help you in the long game. And you two just get to draw cards, which is pretty sweet. And then we have Shram. Amazing card draw there. And then we have Mason Enchanter, just good card draw. And then Court Bear Dancer, just a big fatty that gets there and it draws you card as well. So let's go on to the next part here. We're looking at our creature, the Johnny Sozin. Whenever enchantment enter battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white cat creature token. If that enchantment is an aura, you may attach it to the token. So that's pretty good. Archons of Sun Grace. This card I remember back when it was around in Standard when there were drafts. The card was a powerhouse, but I'm happy that it finds a home in EDH here. It's a very powerful card, and now it has a home here. So Pegasus you control have lifelink, and then whenever enchantment enter the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 Pegasus creature with flying, and they have flying and lifelink as well. 4 mana, 3/4, pretty good and just great. And then we have Ardeen. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent. So basically, you have them all everywhere, so you could just move them around which creature you want to attack, which one you don't. And it's just pretty good. I finally play that card, and I'm like, okay, I understand what I'm doing with this card now. He's just here so I can swap my auras to different creatures. They become like, alright, all on kill side, or just spread them out to each creature. Alright, and then we have Danitha's Benalia's Hope. First strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink, which is three abilities right there. And then when Danitha ability entered the battlefield, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield to tattoo Danitha. So a little bit recurrent in there, and then you could just get a free, you play it, and you get to put a big aura on it, and you can make it a big fatty. And then our MVP of the deck is Doomwig Giant. Whenever Doomwig Giant or another enchantment enter the battlefield into your control creature your opponent control, get neg1, which is amazing. Like I have seen my friends scoop to this card when they're just playing elves, or I got it to like 6 to 1 time. I was just like going off, and my opponent just scooped because I was just gonna swing and kill 2 people, and my last opponent did not want to stick around. So that was really fun. Then we got Eidolon of the Countless Battles. This card really surprised me. That bit so another aura, but the creature side they still work. So Eidolon, Countless Battles, and enchanted creature get +1/+1 for each creature you control, and +1/+1 for each aura you control. That is going to be huge. Like this deck basically cared about auras, somewhat of creatures, but definitely just auras. So that's pretty powerful. We've got Faithbound Judge. Defender, Flying, and Vigilance. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Faithbound Judge has 2 or fewer judgment counters on it, put a judgment counter on it. As long as Faithbound Judge had 3 or more judgment counters on it, it can attack it though, then have Defender. And then its other side, Disrupt. Basically, if it gets 3 or more counters on, I believe I forgot to put it in here. I forgot his flip card. But basically, at the beginning of the opponent's upkeep, it's a curse. Curse enchantment aura. Once it hit 3 counters, activates at the beginning of each upkeep. That player loses the game, which is very unfortunate if that gets there. But I haven't cast it yet, so still trying it out. And then we got Hateful Eidolon, had life, and then whenever a enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you controlled that was attached to it, which is card draw. Amazing, and it's a creature. Light Pause Emperor Voice. This card, immediate powerhouse. Like it's a kill on sight, unfortunately. Like it just got Other End, Path, Swords. It just kill on sight card. Whenever aura entered the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card onto the battlefield, attach to the Light Pause and burn then shuffle, which is amazing. You could like grab like if they're armor, grab your lifelink, vampiric link, or like anything big, you grab anything less than that's protected. Like it's just a very powerful card. And you don't have to just put it on to Light Pause. You can put it on another creature, that will trigger. You search up another thing, give it to Light Pause, which just helps out the deck tremendously. And then we have Undo Spirit Dancer, which just copies our aura enchantments, which is awesome. Unfortunately, only once per turn, but that would be broken if it's not. Let's go on to the next here. We got a couple more creatures. We've got Sarah Paragon. Once during your turn, you may play land from your graveyard to cast a permanent spell. Mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gained when the permanent it put it into graveyard from the battlefield. Exile it, and you gain 2 life. Pretty good recursion there, and it's less than. I thought about putting Suntown in here, but I wanted something small and fit the curve very well, so I think she found a home in here. And then we got Spellbook Vendor, another way to create a roll token. So at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, create a sorcerer roll token, which is just +1/+1 and scry 1, which is pretty good for the deck. And then we're playing 2 Twin Blade Geist. It had double strike and disturb. And then Disturb Tide is a chance creature to gain double strike. And this guy has killed 2 people before and won my game because I had an Eidolon and Countless, and it swung for, I believe, 19. That's not including double strike damage, but it's pretty powerful. Alright, we're looking at our cost reduction. We have Killian Ink Duelist, which spells you cast that target creatures cost 2 less, which is amazing for us. And then Starfield Mystic, which is enchantment spells you cast, cost 1 less to cast. And then whenever enchantment you control, put it in graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Starfield Mystic, which just gets bigger each time one of our auras go to graveyard. And then Transcendent Envoy. Add flying, then aura spells you cast cost 1 less, which is pretty good. Alright, and then we got our ramp package here. I'm going to just include my lands in here as well. Because lands, you can do whatever you want with your lands, to be honest. But I'll talk about that here in a minute. We got Arcane Signet, we got Soul Ring, and then we got Talisman Hierarchy. Pretty simple package there. I didn't want to go heavy into ramp because our curve is so low, and we could definitely get there. But our lands, I'm just using budget lands. I'm using, I believe, a couple of tap lands, check lands, and the flip lands from Keldenheim or Zenkar. I believe Zenkar, the black-white one. Nothing too crazy there. And then Command Tower, obviously. I could have made a land section for this part, but I did feel like it's needed. And then Bazooka Bug as well. Just some utility lands, but not that much. There isn't really any utility land for enchantment auras in budget, but it's in non-budget there is. So let's move on from there. I believe that is it. So Commander overall power level is a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I haven't decided yet. It is pretty good. I need to get more games in. But the budget deck is $100, and the total of the deck is only $95.71. So you could add a couple more upgrades, you could add a few more dollars, and still be in the budget range. And I will post the deck list. Will be on Mana Box. I'll put a link there, and then MTG Goldfish, which I'll upload once the video goes up. But yeah, I think that's basically it, guys. Alright, thank you for watching. Like and comment what you guys want to see upgrades of. If you guys want to see an upgraded list of this commander, I already have a list planned for her. She's just very powerful and cool to play. I'm wondering what the CDH deck going to look like. I could see so much from there. I know that a good chunk of the order will stay, but some of the creature will probably change. With Orchid Bowmaster, the One Ring, you're adding all this different packages in here, and then faster mana too. But yeah, all right. Well, this has been Scry, guys, and this is Quest speaking, and I will catch y'all later. Bye bye.